is I looked at, the Italian diaspora. You had, Australia, Argentina, Canada, obviously US, Venezuela. And I look at it and say, okay, wait a second, what commonalities does the three organizations we aforementioned with American Cosa Nostra? Okay, they're all Italian, great, or Italian American lineage. Then I say, okay, well, did the Cosa Nostra and Draga strive in Canada? For the most part, they're doing pretty well. Australia, they're striving, yes. Germany, Luxembourg, wherever you look, right? But in Italy, I mean, US, where the biggest market is and the biggest market opportunity and the most could be the most powerful organization out there worldwide. And I get the RICO and I get all the talking points, but mafias survived in other areas that had tough laws too, Interpol and so forth. So why did the American Cosa Nostra kind of break down, why other Cosa Nostras at the bare minimum survived and strived? And I have one theory, well, two theories. One is the lack of connection to the homeland to get new troops. And number two is the lack of adaptation of drugs. I felt the American Cosa Nostra, why they had the heroin pipelines, should have went to the Colombians and said, hey, we got this. Get it over to us. We'll take care of it. They didn't do it. That's just my quick nutshell theory. I spent a little time on it. But give me where you land on American Cosa Nostra, why it demise specifically versus other Italian organizations grew.
You brush past RICO quickly, but that
well,
really
I don't want to soft shoe it, but
that is really, really crucial. We forget that law enforcement is the major factor in historical shifts in the fortunes of criminal organizations. And the fact that RICO and its Italian equivalent,
41 bis,
were applied at the same time on both sides of the Atlantic, in the Commission trial and the Maxi trial in Palermo, because they were mutually reinforcing systems, the Sicilian side and the US side, mutually reinforcing. There's a long history that goes all the way back of personnel, commodities, swapping backwards and forwards across the Atlantic, reinforcing each other, supporting each other in time, learning from one another. And the fact that that this repression happened in both places at the same time, and then with one or two setbacks has been maintained over time, is the major factor. And it's what, that's the lesson that Italy has learned, and that's why it's doing so much better against mafia organizations these days. So that's the key thing in my view.
No, I don't mean to gloss over it, but I just felt like, don't get me wrong, RICO is obviously very important in that organization. But then you're a smart guy. Then, if let's say we were consulting them, right? I would say, great. Then operate like a terror cell. If RICO gets you for centralization, then decentralize, right? Decentralize.
In Sicily, since the 1982 Rognoni La Torre law, it's Italy's version of the RICO Act, was passed, took effect. The greatest expression of that was the Palermo Maxi trial, which was confirmed. The verdict was confirmed in the Supreme Court in 1992. 1993, the Commission of Cosa Nostra was meeting, and Riina was on his way to a meeting when he was arrested. Since then,